Hi folks, hope you're okay today. I just want to talk about an intellectual, Western intellectual called Arthur Koestler. Um, Born 5th of September 1905, died 1st of March 1983, was a Hungarian-British author and journalist and Western intellectual. And I listened to uh, a radio program about him and just read a bit about him. I have some of his writings in my office here. And he, in the beginnings of the early 20th century, he was a Zionist. Then he left Zionism. He became a Marxist. He left Marxism, and kind of became disillusioned with that. Wrote quite a bit about science, and then was interested in more the paranormal and spiritual issues and things. And I just want to say one or two things. First of all, life is messy. As an intellectual, he saw all various aspects of political intrigue and and I think that as a philosopher, as a thinker, you can't be isolated from real life. That there is a life around going on. I'm going to talk about this more in the future. And that as a thinker or a philosopher, you've got to be willing to earth your philosophy. How does it relate to real life? And Kessler began to change his thinking because of the real circumstances that he faced. For example, he believed passionately in Marxism and communism, and he wanted communism to really do well. And he kind of put under the carpet the murders and the things that were going on because he thought the bigger scheme of communism would come to be true in the future in the end. Then he went to Spain in the Franco Spanish Civil War, and he got arrested there, and he began to see that the fascist and the non-fascist were just as bad as each other, and he realized that back home in the communist countries that they were just as bad, and he realized that communism was just not honest, and it was despicable really. And he then kind of began to see that communism was not what it should be, and he turned away from it. But the point is that um, he changed his ideas not because of pure thinking, it was because of the reality of the situation in his life. And I think a lot of people are dishonest when they say that they're atheist or they're skeptics because they've rationalized it. Very often things happen in our lives that move us on to think about other things. And it's the same with Christians, or many people, or many theologians and philosophers have moved over to Christianity, not just by pure thinking, but because maybe something's happened in their life, and that's brought cognitive dissonance and made them think more, and then they've moved over to Christianity. So what I'm saying is, when we're doing philosophy and theology, let's remember that life is real and life is messy. And if our philosophy, if our theology is not dealing with the real aspects of life, then it's meaningless. And we think of Christ, and he came in the earth God came down into this earth. He became man, and he was in the mess of life, and he went to the cross, the most murkiest of life, in order to redeem humanity. It was earthy and it was real, and it was down to earth. And that should be our model in our thinking, that ultimately we want to bring people to Christ. And that is the ultimate reality, that is the ultimate that we can do in reality. But let's keep it real. God bless you.